Alright, y'all, welcome back to Minecraft Tornado Survival. What is this, episode 5, technically? No. Is it 5? Yeah, it is 5. My bad. As you guys can see, this does not look like the base that we remember. Nor did we have the radar, the weather station, or this nice, beautiful little house we got here. If you didn't catch the stream back on Monday, then you missed quite literally one of the best streams that we may have ever had. So, for one, Proto Manly's weather mod got a big update. We now have snow squalls, we have better risk areas, all kinds of new stuff. There's videos all over the place about it. I haven't had the time to go through and try to record anything for it, but basically, we had a whole lot of new stuff. Well, I happened to catch a version when I did the stream that, the risks weren't exactly working as they were supposed to. And we had days that were supposedly none risks, or thunderstorm risks like this one, where we were just getting twins and quadruple tornado storms and massive squalls. It was just utter chaos, alright? There's no other way of describing it other than utter chaos. Well, since then, Proto Manly has released a new version of the mod. Just a couple bug fixes, and one of them in particular was the fact that the risk areas were going a little too crazy, some would say. So that, hopefully, is now resolved, and we're going to have some semi-normal tornado survival for once. And as you can also tell, I have added on faithful X64 resource packs, because, well, quite frankly, it's an old classic. I haven't used it in years. I wanted to do it. Call me, a copycat for, oh, well, Nate and Tanner and Cookie and all them use it, and now you are. You know what? That's fair. That's what you'd like to say. Quite frankly, it might not stay. I might go back to the original look. Because to be quite honest, I think the 64-bit version might be a little too much. Yeah, well, there goes that. Actually, we're gonna do that. I was gonna keep this. This was not part of the stream. This was just I wanted to add something new. But I think it is causing a little too much issues on at least 64-bit. I think if I went with a standard 32-bit texture pack, it may have run a little differently, but that was running pretty rough. And it's still not great, but today's kind of mission statement, if we're going to call it such, today's mission statement is going to be move all of this crap over to our new base. So as you see, we also did some mining. And no, it was not off-camera mining. You can go back in the stream. It happened. And get everything transferred over here, ready for us to continue on our ways. And then after that's done, after this little excursion, we're gonna leave this base the way it is for now, if I'm being totally honest with you. I kind of want it as like a memory piece, and also so if anything crazy does happen, I then have a place to kind of camp out at when all else breaks down. I will go ahead, after I get this all transferred, I will go ahead and show off some of the damages that have occurred since we were last here. Because some of them were pretty bad. I'm not going to lie to you. But we did have some storms that were quite potent, I would say. I'll go show them off, let y'all see the, well, now pretty infamous stream destruction of my world. Right after we get ourselves some reinforced glass. Wait, what? Oh, we can't even make reinforced glass because the game wants to make, and it uses all the glass options. Okay, well, we're going to make reinforced glass, but unfortunately that's not going to be an option because, quite frankly, I'm not getting rid of iron chests, which I honestly should have been using by now. Maybe if at some point the mod does become compatible with iron chests. I don't know why it really would, but I do know that the mod creator does kind of, at least sort of follow my channel. It's not like he's a super fan or anything. He more just comes by to make sure everything's working with the mod. But since I do at least know he's around, maybe, just maybe, can I get that? It's not needed though. I'm not that not that particularly worried about it. What I do know I need, though, is my glass bottles that I threw in here. Because we need water. And I also, either this episode or next, I have got to go through the process of figuring out what I've got to do to actually get acceptable or purified water without having to go through and smelt it every time. I think there is a water, like, purifier thing or something I can do. And of course, the quickest way to do this is through a blast furnace, or a regular furnace. I can't do like a campfire or anything. We do have a cell forming over here, which is quite worrisome. I think the last thing I need on a day like today is to be worrying about a darn supercell. We're just going to TP back. I'm not trying to get out of there. Unless our risk has changed, which it has. It has now updated. Okay. So never mind. That's not even a bug. That's just the game updating. Because I had to put a new mod in here. We also have the EAS add-on, which if you've not seen that, if you go to the stream, there will be pretty obvious signs of where the EAS mod was a very useful thing to have on here. Because things got a little crazy, and we had EAS alerts going off left and right. Now, the big thing that I'm going to answer a question right now for everyone that hasn't seen the stream, the EAS mod only goes off if the storm is heading in the direction of your base, or is like right there at your base, at least as of now. Like if this storm ends up over here and drops a tornado, it's not going to alert me for that. But with it being right there, there is a possibility that it does. As you can see, I think this is just the leftover remnants of the last major cell we had. But I'm going to try to get over here really quickly to the max wedge damage that we had recently. I don't know if any of it's actually recovered yet. Probably would have been best served just going to the base, the old base, and doing it this way. But oh well. Yeah, here you go. You can kind of see it now, way out here in the distance. There was a lot of destruction. I was actually standing right here when cells from right over here, actually, funny enough, were coming over the hills. And we had, this was the first of our twin tornadoes, where one of them turned into a max wedge, and because I got to get back to the base. As you can see, there's a lot of damage over here. Like, a lot of damage. So we're going to come on back to the base and see what's going on. We do have potential rotation down here. A little bit to the south of us. I think it's heading more east than it is, Oh, we have a severe thunderstorm warning. It's barely clipping the base. But we're now in a 3-day moderate risk, which could also be because we're in mid-spring. So that's another thing I didn't tell you all about. I do have serene seasons on now, which does affect your temperature, your dew points, all that stuff. So the more we have these mid-spring to late spring days, the higher chance we have of this being a pretty chaotic couple of weeks here in the game. Because that is definitely a powerful thunderstorm, alright. I ran inside thinking that was a darn tornado warning. Wait, is it not a tornado warning? There's a tornado warning on it. But it's outside of the range of the base, so I didn't actually get alerted for it. But there is most certainly a tornado forming here. Let's get on out here. We got ourselves a tornado forming right across the water here. It's actually more of a water spout than anything, at least from what I can tell. But you can see the waves when they do pop up. Is that a shipwreck? It is a shipwreck. You can see the waves are hightailing it over to this tornadic supercell. As there she is. Ooh, that was a beautiful shot. I hope I can catch that one in replay. But that's a pretty good one over there. Nice for sure. Now, what I'm more concerned about is that. We have another supercell forming behind this one. Wait a minute. Are we seeing multi-vortex? Or are those two supercells on top of each other? I don't know if that's two supercells on top of each other doing that. But if that's a multi-vortex, that is insane. It also tells you how potent that storm is over there. I mean, God. We have a potential multi-vortex tornado over there. Holy crap. Thank the Lord that thing's moving away from here. Or else that'd be a serious problem if I had twins coming at me. Now, what is another big problem? Oh, that supercell's dying. Oh, phew. Thank the gods that that's going away. Man, we've been here 15 minutes and I've already had a multi-vortex. God, just look at that thing on radar, man. Jesus. Thank God we're out of the way of that one. Anyways, let's go ahead and try to continue building out the base just a little bit. Or the house. I keep calling it base. This is now a house. I'm going to start by putting down some flooring and potentially covering up that exposed bit there. Alright, we have to expand this just a wee bit. That is not... I am not accepting that as a potential option. Not having an open spot right there where things can just, well, I say things. We all know what it is. Where a tornado can come through and just rip me to shreds. That is a beautiful cell structure, by the way. That is a big time cell. That's is in the way. Yeah. Now, if I seem a little bit low energy or anything, I'm doing another one of those late night recordings. I said I was gonna record right afterwards. I proceeded to get on MLB The Show for a few hours. And if I'm being totally honest with you, it wasn't my most enjoyable time. If I'm being completely upfront and honest with you guys. That kind of sucked playing that game today. I couldn't hit a ball to save my life. But anyway, this still had like 2 or 3 homers, but everything else was strikeouts and swinging at freaking low pitches in the dirt. Anyway, let me just ask, you know, how are y'all doing today? I know this video is coming out like a few days after I asked this question. I just want to know, are y'all enjoying the series so far? Is there anything I need to do to make the series better? Is it going well at least? I know a good portion of y'all popped out for the stream, which was really nice to see. I might have to do some more streaming of this game and other games, to be fair. I mean, I know I want to do Outbreak again once they come out with their big update, which they are taking forever on, by the way. Like, I would love to play that, but man. I've also thought about doing some tornado survival with a couple of my buddies, but I just have to figure out the logistics of that. Now, I know the first thing that's probably going to be asked in that is, you gonna play with Fire, you gonna play with Tanner, you gonna play with Nate? Nate actually wouldn't be a crazy ass, but I would have to probably say that's gonna be a no, just because of the fact that he's already got, you know, Tanner, Cookie. I would say Fire, but I have talked to him about doing videos or a collab or something. It would just have to materialize. I'm not gonna push the issue on that. Not to say I wouldn't want to, but it's not something that, you know, that I absolutely have to do, like, in the next week. Like, it can be a little while before I do that. So we are getting some rain here, which is a little worrying, because unless we're in the tail end of a supercell here, that means something's coming over us. Because as of right now, there is no such thing as just rain. And moving southeast. Ooh, that means it's heading here. I don't have aim at player on spawn on, by the way. We had to check that in the stream, because I just kept having storm after storm after storm take me out. We got a little worried that there was an aim at player thing on. A severe thunderstorm warning. What is this one for? Oh, there is a little something going on out there. That's worrisome. Where is that one heading? Oh, that's for the one in front. Ooh. Because we probably have a tornado over here. Might have one form right there. I don't know. We're down to a slight risk for a little while, which is, well, I would love to say promising, but I don't know how much of any of this is promising right now. because it's just been chaos. And now it's tornado warned, so that means something big must be happening out here. Unfortunately, I'm trying to build, so that thing can wait for a second. Sure enough, for good reason, she's trying to drop over there. Now, fortunate enough for us, that thing's far enough out the way. That, on the other hand, if that's what I think it is, that's a bit of an issue. No, if there was a tornado on that cell, it would be almost directly in line. It is coming down out here, but now we have a significant issue. God, you can hear the hailstones just smacking away out here. Bouncing off the windows. But that's a third supercell now. And it's this one right here that I am most concerned for. Because if it continues on the southeasternly trend that the rest of these supercells have been following, that's going to come right here. Now, thankfully, dirt is considered an indestructible block, or else we'd be in significant danger. And that thing is trying to put something down over there. We could be going in for another. Now, unlike on stream, I would just consider this a severe outbreak. God, it's thunderstorm risk again. I swear I updated this, didn't I? Yeah, it's 14:11. I don't know. I guess because of the season. I mean, it is in the dead middle of spring, so I mean the conditions are right to where at this point any storm could be something crazy, I guess. This is when I'm gonna find out I have some serious config issues that I thought I fixed. Yeah, no, everything is set the way it's supposed to be. So, oh no, I am only gonna get through this last tornado here, and then we're gonna call it an episode. That's it right there. That's the tornado that I've been watching here in this cluster of now 4 supercells rolling together here into this big just line of disgustingness. And unfortunately, I can barely see the tornado anymore due to the fact that we're in the heavy precipitation part of everything now. So this is when this EAS mod is going to come into great effect here. Because if something is coming, I can't see it. And that's just an unfortunate truth about how the way everything has set up here in this world. God almighty, just you see this on radar. What are you doing? How do you get out of here? But it is nice to at least know, with the way this thing is forming, that we are safe. And quite frankly, because of the way everything is built out and how these cells grew, I know I'm not going to see much of anything from these, because I'm in the middle of the worst part of a supercell. The heavy rains that, depending on which way they're going, that is our biggest cell now. Thank God that thing moved over. Because if that thing didn't move, we were in danger, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder what risk level we're in. Yep, we're in enhanced risks. Doesn't surprise me. I mean, 82 degrees and a 70-degree dew point will do that for you. I think I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get this wall built out. And then I think I'm going to get on out of here for the evening. At least I think that's my plan. But we shall see. Because if something else crazy pops up, I might stick around even longer than I was planning. But there we go. And yeah, from the looks of it, that's going to be the last cell that I have to worry about in this episode. So while that thing moves on out of here and away from my goddamn base, we are going to go ahead and call it an episode. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all have enjoyed. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.